Alright guys, here we go. We're going to make a never-ending card, and what they are is this. This is one I made a while ago, and you open it like this, and then you open it this way, and then you open it this way, and one more time and you're back at the beginning. And this is what we're going to make. Alright, we'll make one that size. So you need 2 pieces of paper. You can use 8.5 by 11 or 12 by 12 sheets. I have 12 by 12 sheets because that is what I bought, because I wanted the yellow to match the Despicable Me characters. So, and they were 6 for $1, I think, at Michael's. Alright, so this 12 by 12 sheet, you're going to go ahead and trim at 8 inches. And I'm just trying to trim the part that's got the pricing label on it. So just trim it off to 8 inches. Okay. Now you've got 2 pieces that are 8 inches. Now what we need to do is cut 4 pieces at 4 inches. Alright, so this is your 8 inch direction this way. You're going to turn the paper and cut at 4 inches. And we probably might not even need 2 sheets of 12 by 12. You would need 2 sheets of 8.5 by 11. Because that's 2, and this will be a third, right? Should be right. Alright. So basically I just need one more. I probably have enough here to make 2 cards, because I can probably get more out of those. Alright, so now you have 4 pieces that are 4 inches by 8 inches. Okay, 4 by 8. Alright, we don't need the cutter anymore. So, but we do need a scoreboard. Okay, let me make sure y'all are where you can see here. Alright, here's the scoreboard. And what you're going to do is along the long side, turn it so it's long ways in, you're going to score at 2 inches. Turn it and score at 2 inches. Okay. Do that on all of them. And the reason I turn it is so I know that it's exactly the same measurement. Alright, you can set your scoreboard aside after you're done with this, but hold on to your tool, okay, because you're going to need that. Alright, so now you have 4 pieces that are scored 2 inches from the ends, okay? So you're going to put 2 like this. And 2 in this direction, okay? What we're going to do is, this is where I needed a piece of, a pencil or something. Let me grab a pencil, sorry. Okay, on 2 of these pieces, alright, we'll just take the top 2. We're going to get our scoreboard, but we're not going to score anything. Alright, you're going to put this in to your scoreboard like this, and you're just going to make a small little pencil mark, okay, on each short end. Alright, so you're just going to do a pencil mark in the middle of the 4-inch side. Okay, do that on 2 pieces. Alright, so now we're going to have these here in this direction, and then these two will go this way. And what you're going to do is you're going to put adhesive, okay, just in this corner. So if you turn it over and you look at your pencil mark, like right here's the pencil mark, you're going to eyeball it and you're going to put adhesive. You're going to put adhesive down on this side of the pencil mark, down to meet this line, over to here, up to there, and over to there, and maybe a strip across here. So you're making just a little square of adhesive. You're going to do that here and here on this one. So when they go down and they get adhered to the two that are facing the other direction, the adhesive will be in the corners, okay? Now this one, we need the adhesive here and here. All right, so let's do some adhesive. Not very well prepared for this. I'm sorry, guys. Out of practice. All right. So let me bring you in so I can. Okay. We're going to put this adhesive here to the score line. Not on the score line. Don't get adhesive on the score line, okay? You want to kind of avoid that. And then maybe a piece on the diagonal like this. All right, so there's one corner done, okay? Now we're going to do this again here. Alright, so that's one piece with the adhesive attached. See how that is? Alright, let's do this other one. And I'm just using scrappy tape that I get from Scrapbook Supply. No, what is it? Scrapbook Pals. Is that right? I think it is. Okay. I'm just kind of using my pencil line that I made as kind of a little indicator. Alright, so there you go. We have the two pieces. Alright, so they'll look like that. We'll go out a little bit. See, there's one like that and one like that. So basically your tape is in the corners, in the outer corners. There, 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 and there, okay? Now what I'm going to do is take the tape off from one side here. Uh-oh, didn't get it loose. Okay, now your two pieces will go this way and two will go this way. I'm going to just pick this up so that I can see what I'm doing a little better. And I'll show you, there's the adhesive. Line your corners up and the edges, and then you're going to adhere that down. Okay, so that's adhered right here in the corner. Now we're going to do the same with the other piece of paper. This piece goes across the two, and we're going to adhere that down onto there. Alright, and what I'm going to do is hold this piece up a little bit and get these in here. Not exactly touching, because you need a little bit of space for the cards to do their flipping. And then let it go and push it down into the adhesive, okay? Alright, so you got the two pieces with adhesive go up and down this way, and the pieces we're attaching are going this way. Alright, now the easy part is take this adhesive off and just put this on there, and we will trim the edge if we need to for clearance. Oh, I got it overlapping a little so it's not wanting to let loose. There we go. I might go ahead and, since we're already glued together pretty good, you know, or adhered together on the bottom, I'm just going to take all of the tape off for the rest. And what I'm going to do is, I'll show you. It's easier to just show than tell. Get all this tape off. Now, you see how I left that little space on the bottom? Just a little teeny, almost the width of a hair. We need to do that on the top as well. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of leave, it's hard to see, match your edges up, but then, and you can also make sure your score lines are even. That's probably easier to see. All right, and then drop that down. I think it shifted on me. It did. All right, if I have to, I will do some trimming. Yeah, I'm gonna have to trim a little bit, and it's just gonna mess me up. That's gonna mess me up. I wonder if I can get it loose. No. I'll just trim it a little, but you need to just be careful and make sure you're kind of matching all the way. Yeah. So here's the card. The first open is like this, and what you have to do, maybe not, hang on. It's been a while since I made one of these. Okay, there we go. Get it started. You can see where I'm a little uneven. And right now I'm worried more about the score lines. So that's after the first open. And then you're just going to smooth these down. Alright, the next move will be this way. And you got to bend your score lines. There. And down here. Okay. I'm going to try squish those out, and see how we're catching a little bit here in the middle? That's why we'll have to trim it. And we're going to do like this. And one more takes us back at the beginning. Now, I'm going to do some trimming, which if I'd been more careful, I wouldn't need to do this, but this is how you can fix it if you mess up. So you don't have to start all over again. I'm just going to trim this so that it's even. Line this up with whatever's the shortest on there and trim off the excess. and then it'll quit catching. So let's see. I trimmed that one down to, let's match that up to 2 and see if I need to trim any off. It's saying no. Alright. Let's see if it'll do now. Okay, so there's the front of the card. You open it, you flip it, and you flip it, and you flip it. Alright. I might trim these inner edges just a tiny, ever so tiny little bit. I don't think I trimmed anything. I just don't want to go too far because then the card will have a gaping hole in it. Just a tiny little bit. I see I'm having issues there too. Alright, let's see. This is where I just have to play with it and try to figure out where I need to trim a little bit. See where it's catching right there? I need to trim a little off that edge. So let's trim a little bit off this edge right here. Not a lot. Alright. Alright. So that's the front of the card. Trying to determine if I need to trim a little bit off. You just don't want to trim on the edges that you've already, see, I think that's how I'm messing up. Let's see. Right. Okay. Alright, I think we're good to go. So now what you've got to do is you've got to make mats for the different portions. And as you can see on this one, when you're doing your mats, okay, you need to pay attention to where things are. You've got to leave your score marks free. You can't cover them up like with one whole strip. You have to do a mat here, a mat here, and a mat here. And then when you open it, what you got to keep in mind is the mats that are here and here, when you flip this here, that is part of a larger one. So you want to make sure that whatever's peeking out over here won't look like if you put somebody's photo there, you don't want to like cut their face in half is what I'm trying to say. Alright, so you got to keep that in mind. Where does things fall? Alright, and like this one, it had a sentiment on it, but I had to cut it in half because I had to come apart there, see? So that's what you've got to think about when you're making that, alright? What I'm going to do is I'm not going to, unless you really, I'll show you the front and then you'll go from there, alright? You've got to figure out, these should technically be 2 by 4 inches, but I had to trim a little bit. So I might cut my mats at 1 7/8 or 1 3/4. Let's see. I have this paper and I have some that's just denim. I'm going to use the birthday paper for the top and the bottom and then put the denim in the middle. So I want to make sure these go up and down. So if I cut a strip at 2 3/4, that's what we'll do. 2 3/4. Then I can see if that's going to be right. I can set this down. I think that'll be all right. 2 3/4 by 3 3/4 because that's 4 inches wide. So there's one there. And one there. This one will need to be trimmed just a little bit more for here. And then I need to cut another one at the 1 3/4. Is that right? Yeah. I hope I bought enough paper. If not, we might have to get creative. It takes a lot more paper than you think when you start matting. So there you go. I think what I'll do is I'll go and I'll cut all of the mat pieces for each of the sections, and then I'll come back and I'll try to remember what I cut them at so I can tell y'all. Basically, you're going to want to be about a 1/4 inch smaller than each section, okay? So like this should be a 4 by 4, so I'd do 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. Then when you open it, you're going to do another 3 3/4, 3 3/4, and then those two will be at 3 3/4 there, because remember they're big ones, but they're hiding behind here. And then these here will just be 1 3/4 inches square. All right. So let me go and cut mats, and I'll come right back.